Do you like toys? If you said yeah, then you'll love this episode of
The Dingus and Dingus podcast
Starts Now!
All right. Welcome to episode 6 of the Dingus and Dingus podcast. I'm Floyd.
I'm Matt.
And last episode, we had so much fun talking to Tom Toby, and that guy can talk, as you saw. If you didn't, go watch that episode, and we can talk too. But anyway, we totally forgot to show a toy in that episode, which is kind of our thing. Like, we'd like to have at least one toy. So this episode, it's all toys. So Matt's got a bunch of stuff. I've got some stuff, and we're going to go ahead and show it. So do you want to kick us off, Matt? Do you want to show something to talk about a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna start with I know I've already talked about the old classic Optimus Prime figure. That's a big old brick from 84.
84.
And so in the last couple of years, Takara Tomy has come out with where they're basically redoing the old original toys, but they're making them all articulated
nice.
with modern articulation, which is crazy because this is probably exactly what we wanted as kids when we were little,
I think the tech wasn't there to make the toys that are articulated.
Probably not.
Like, the production process is probably, you couldn't get the stuff as small as you needed, or maybe I'm wrong, but
No, I mean, well, I don't know. You look at some of the old Japanese toys from back then, they didn't, their kids were smart
They
enough
didn't
to not
skimp.
swallow little things.
Yeah. Very cool.
Kids here, man. So that's for that line, that's called the Missing Link line, and they're really cool. They're pricey, so I've only got like the Optimus so far. So I highly doubt I'm going to get everybody else, but in my mind, I needed to have at least the Optimus in a cool
We should
articulated-
post the Buy Me a Coffee link maybe at the end of this episode so people can buy us coffees. But when we say coffee, we actually mean toys. So
That would be awesome.
Well, we'll put those links somewhere. We'll put them maybe in the description somewhere.
Someone will feel bad
Someone
for us.
feels sorry for us. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to show a toy. So I am a Ninja Turtle fan. My first exposure to Ninja Turtles was the cartoon, the cartoon from
89, I think.
89, I think is when it started, 89. And then the comics, like first the Archie comics, which is weird because that's like a bastardization kind of the original figures or the original story. And then like the live action movie and then the Mirage comics, I got into that, and then IDW comics they did later. So I'm a fan of all of it. So I've got a bunch of stuff, but I'm going to start with, so this is I don't have these out of a box yet. These are NECA figures. So these are based on the original drawings that Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird did of the Ninja Turtles. So they have the art kind of on the side. Like, these were some of the original drawings they did of the Ninja Turtles. Like, you can see the one, I don't know if that's supposed to be Donatello because he has a staff, but the mask covered the nose, which was interesting. And then they had doubled up weapons. So this turtle has the sword and nunchucks. Actually, they both have nunchucks on their kind of forearms there, which is cool. So that's my first one that I was going to show.
Now, is that their story that they drew them on napkins and crap when they first?
I think they were hanging out watching karate movies, and they just thought it'd be funny, and they drew the picture, and then they just ran with it. So
one of the guys that we worked with on Free Roams, I believe he was an intern or something, Jin Young Kim. Amazing.
I have one of his
illustrator.
Ninja Turtle prints hanging up in the room.
I've got one hanging up as well. It's got all 4 turtles, and he had it signed by Kevin Eastman. And
very cool.
Mine
is signed by no one.
it was because I've always gone I don't want to pull it off the wall, but I've got tons of his Transformers art. I've always tried to go.
Oh yeah, he draws
anytime
really
I went to Comic-Con, I would go and buy something from him just because he's a great guy. He had a contest for, like, if you bought stuff from him, he put your name in a hat, and so at the end of the show, he drew
and you won
names, and I won it, and so I've got that framed and hung up because it's just a awesome drawing. It's just cool that Kevin Eastman signed it, I guess.
Yeah.
So
cool. All right, what's your next figure?
Well, I will follow up with the Ninja Turtles. Let me. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna look up the year. Nickelodeon. It was a 3D animated Turtles on Nickelodeon.
That's probably 2012.
2012.
Is that what it is? 2012?
Yes, that is.
Yep.
And I always get that mixed between 2012 or 2015. I don't know, but I've got all 4 of the turtles. 2 of them around across the room. But I always love the art
out on a
style.
mission.
I always love the art style.
I like the chunkiness of the feet.
Yeah, they're very cool. This was Playmates toy line as well. I think, Playmates has done the main turtle toys forever, but sadly, this is their last year having the turtle license. But all their toys, they made them for kids, so they were always affordable and that sort of thing. But that also means like the really giant characters were never giant. They're all like everybody's the same size.
Everybody's the same size. Yeah.
So, but NECA is doing that 2012 series. I believe it's NECA. It's either NECA or Super 7. You guys will have to check me on that. But they're doing everybody like in the right scales. Like everybody, like the big dudes are really big.
Krang in the body? Is that one of the figures? That'd have to be huge.
I don't remember if Krang was in the body in that series. It was like a skeleton. Leatherhead is Slash. Slash is one of the first ones they've shown off, and he looks spectacular, like big, very cool, beefy dude. So
the next figure I have, this is a 40th anniversary turtle figure. I have all 4 of these, but this is Leonardo. This is the original sketch Leonardo. So similar to what I just showed, but this is distinctly Leonardo. He's got the sword. He's got a little sheath for the sword. There's a little thing of ooze that's broken open, so you can kind of set it there with him. And they've got the original sketch on the back, so this looks kind of like the figures that I just showed. But it's based on these, and these were chunkier. They're still kind of finding their feet with their style and stuff, so it's kind of cool. But I have all 4 of these guys. And in this box is the original sketch reprint, but I've never opened the boxes. So,
and they didn't actually do the different colored.
No, the Turtles originally had, and I'll get into that too. They had originally they were black and white, and then when they did do color, all the bandanas were red, but it was hard to tell them apart. So for kids, they gave them the different colors, and the other figures actually had a little letter on the belt as well, so you could tell who was who.
Yeah, they got to really spell it out for kids. So so this is a lot of like stuff that was huge when we were kids, and I've got to go. I got to go with Star Wars because I still have a couple of the Star Wars figures from when I was a kid.
Is that the head clicks on the R2?
Let's see if he still clicks.
Yep.
But this is the one from Empire Strikes Back, and he's got the little
scanner.
He's got the scanner that pops out. Now, this is mine was looking really beat. So the sticker was like super messed up and everything, and the chrome was all gone on his head. Website that I've ordered reproduction decals from, Repro Labels. They're really good quality stickers and that sort of thing. This is just in my collection, so it's not something I'm going to resell. So I'm just fine putting reproduction stickers on it. So that's why he looks a little clean, and I used a chrome paint marker to kind of fix that. It's not super smooth, but it looks better than the yellow plastic that was
battle damage R2.
Oh, he was sad R2 is what he was.
So the Luke figure, is that from Jedi?
Yes, that was my favorite outfit of his, with a black outfit. So
it's after he got his hand cut off too, it looks like.
Yep. Like father, like son.
I guess that was Empire. He got his hand cut off. It was replaced to Jedi.
Yeah.
Cool. So
spoilers. No.
Oh, sorry. If you haven't seen it. The movie's only, 48 years old? Cool. Okay. So my next one is a 4-pack. This is also from NECA. This is the Ninja Turtles as they appear in the Mirage comics. So you can see they're kind of a lot more rectangular. right? They all have their red bandanas, and the leather belts and the leather like padding and stuff. And the box itself is like a little play set. So there's like a floor of the dojo in their lair.
Those
But
are
I
the
thought this was
saddest
cool.
figures I've ever seen. They're still in their box.
They're still in their boxes. Yeah. So my plan was to make a little Ninja Turtle shrine, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And then I keep adding figures. And the spot where I did have these won't fit anymore. So someday these will be in a big Ninja Turtle thing. Right now, they're just in my closet. Well, I mean, they're on display in the closet, but you got to go in the closet to see them. So
Gotcha.
or watch this episode. So
there you go. Well,
Yeah.
you know, NECA does also sell the big cityscape display that's like 3 stories high to
yeah,
display all your turtles on. I'm sure you got room for that.
I need like a side house just for the Ninja Turtles. Rent another domicile.
I believe that display also fits on top of their sewer layer, so you could just go 4 levels high with the thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, hopefully it has a life-size cot in the bottom of it that I have to live in. If I bought that, my wife would be upset. Anyway.
yeah.
All right. What's your next one?
What's your next one? Let's jump to a modern but in vintage style. Because going back to, you know, all these shows and all the cartoons and crap we watched them on Saturday mornings, and usually with our bowl of cereal. So, you know,
Yeah.
I've got Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes and Diggum from Honey Smacks.
They're
Sugar
great.
Smacks. So,
Yeah, Sugar Smacks.
Sugar Smacks. So these are from a new company called Plastic Meatball. They're doing a bunch. They got a Toucan Sam as well. They're doing Labyrinth figures, lots of new stuff. And they're just the old school 5 points of articulation like the old Star Wars figures.
Move the feet, move the hands, move the head.
Oh,
Done.
he's 6 points. His tail will swirl around. So
There you
hot
go.
dog. No. So,
Very cool.
but I figured those were fun.
They're fun.
Yeah.
So my next one, this is from a company called 5 Points, I believe.
Haven't heard of that one.
Oh, no, sorry. It's 5 Points of Articulation. This is from Mesco Toys.
That one I've heard of.
So this is the Ninja Turtles, and they're kind of in this like in-between phase. So they still have the red bandanas, but they're still not kind of in the form that most people know them. They don't have the little letters on the belts. They still have the red bandanas, and they're still kind of on the chunky side. I've never opened this. I'm just assuming that the turtles are actually in this box. But yeah, it comes with 6 pairs of interchangeable hands. So there's different poses and stuff. And then there's 8 pairs of interchangeable legs. So if you wanted to, you could make a turtle spider if you wanted to. But yeah.
Like Modulock or something from the old He-Man toy line.
Yeah. So yeah, that's this one. And a lot of these are through Nickelodeon as well, because Nickelodeon has the Ninja Turtle license. So they commission these from different companies and stuff. So it's cool that they kind of, for the fans, went back and got styles that were not what's shown on Nickelodeon, but the Nickelodeon name is on there because they kind of own the license now. But cool.
Yeah, that's so weird because it's Nickelodeon has the animation rights and stuff, but Playmates has had the master license for the toys.
Yeah.
But they allowed all these other companies like NECA, Mezco, Super 7 to make different iterations of collector turtles because they still made the toy-friendly ones. So kid-friendly, I should say. But
yeah.
So,
all right. What you got next?
Oh, boy. What to do next? I've shown GoBots off in the past. I'm also a big Lego fan. Several years back, a friend of mine did let's see if I can get it to focus. Probably not.
A little bit.
There he is. She made a figure of me. So that
cool.
was pretty cool. Of
Is that
course,
Mountain
always
Dew?
has the Mountain Dew. Yeah. So, yeah, I believe she painted all the plaid on the shirt and everything. So,
wow.
And the shoes. She gave me the red Converse that I always wear. She did a couple of our other coworkers. She made figures of that year.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
cool. So for the next one, I have. I'm a big horror movie fan as well. And Nickelodeon also commissioned this. They teamed up with Universal, and they did the Ninja Turtles as Universal monster characters. So you've got Frankenstein's monster as Raph. You've got Michelangelo as the mummy, Leonardo as Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Donatello as the Invisible Man. And the figures are actually in black and white, which is cool.
Oh, wow. All right.
So, and there's quite a bit of accessories in there with them too. So you got, a spear with a fish on the end of it, the bandaged head with the mouth open for the Invisible Man, a different mummy head with the teeth all exposed,
which
for
looks
Raph.
like the deteriorated mask from the 1990s movie. That's what they based that sculpt on.
Very cool. And then, you got a cool little hangy chain on some of the stuff. So I like that set a lot. That was, I found that on Halloween, so I grabbed that.
Did you have any of the original toy line where they did the Universal monsters like that?
No, I did not. I only bought the original toy line. I only bought the original 4 turtles, and I thought that the rest were scammy to have those. So I only ever had the original 4 turtles. I mean, I had other figures too, Baxter Stockman and Krang and all that stuff.
But as far as the turtles,
I wouldn't buy a different version of the turtles because I thought that was a ripoff. And now that's usually what I do is I run to the toy aisle to see if they have all 4 of one figure on one toy line, and I'll get all 4 if I can. But yeah,
that's cool. So that's some of those weird variations are like the most expensive ones to get your hands on now.
Yeah, they had like basketball ones and
never made
monster ones and outer space ones, and it was pretty well.
So they did everybody, and they had the the inappropriate ones of like them dressed as Indians and cowboys, Indians.
Well, and you can pretend you're the Village People Ninja Turtles.
That's right. That's what they were going for.
Yeah,
because I'm sure they weren't. Oh gosh.
All right, what do you got next?
What do I got next? Another cool toy line that we had as kids was Mask. And this is the main good guy of the show in his Thunderhawk, which was a red Camaro. But
did you ever see the Robot Chicken Mask episode? The
I
guy's
don't know that I
why
did.
do they call these masks? This is a helmet.
Yes, they were.
Which is true.
So yeah, doors flip open and there's thrusters on the back, and that Camaro could fly off into combat.
Yeah, it's funny because there's a bright green motorcycle in a neighborhood near me, and I always think it's going to turn into a helicopter, and I've never seen
like
it
this
fly
guy.
away. Yeah, it looks like that.
Yep, Brad Turner and his Condor. Yeah, but there's a problem with this because he was always flying after the dude, the main leader of Venom, who had a helicopter that turned into a fighter jet.
Yeah,
and he was completely contained.
Disadvantage.
He's right open.
Yeah, if it rains, like you're gonna get wet. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Their base was the gas station.
That was cool though.
In the desert, and then and also in the Robot Chicken episode, they're like, who are they selling the gas to? Do they sell it to themselves? Like, there's nobody around for miles.
Oh man. So there's a company called Ramen Toys. Oh, Matt Tracker fell out.
I love their noodles.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the
great.
toys.
So they redid the Thunderhawk. So it's
wait, that's the reissue? That's the new one?
This is the new one. This is the old one.
Wow.
They're so it's a little bigger, but the figures are still
by how creaky the plastic is, probably.
Yeah, and the stickers are really rough on that other one. This one's actually hobbled together from a couple of them that the doors were broken or different parts were missing. So they were garage sale finds.
Very cool.
My original, I only had like I think 3 or 4 vehicles from the Mask line, and I ended up giving them away when I went to college to either family or a family friend. And I was like, it's okay, sure, go ahead and take it. And I'm like, well, crap, I shouldn't have given that because now I want this. So a friend of my wife's, her husband ended up gifting me a couple vehicles. One was that Condor with Brad to the
very
green
cool.
motorcycle, and then the Jeep that has the little boat that pops out the front of it.
So I only had the Condor, the green motorcycle. That was the only mask
that
figure
was one I had because it was little and affordable. So, but anyway, after he gave that to me, I was like, well, crap. Now I've got to like find some of the others. So, garage sale finds and whatnot.
Very cool.
So yeah, but the new ramen toy things, the figures were the same size, but they just had a heck of a lot more articulation than the original toys. But
cool.
So
It always bothered me that the figures had no detail painted on the face. It was just the sculpt itself.
I know, and they did the same with this new one. They were like, they put a poll out when they made it. Do people want the like details painted on the faces? And the fans said no. They wanted them.
I mean, that makes it unique. Like it's definitely an identifiable mask thing at that point.
Yeah, but yeah.
You usually have the mask on anyway, so who cares what the face looks like? You're going to have the mask on.
That's true. Because if there was paint on there, it's just going to rub off every time you put the mask on. So.
That's true. That's true. And I think that you'd have a bunch of figures just like, bleh. Everybody looks like they had a stroke. Yeah. So I've got, this is a Playmates figure. This is from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem that I liked a lot.
That was
way
such
more
a fun
than I
movie.
thought I was going to. Way more than I thought I was going to. But I've got all 4 of these guys as well. I'm really excited about the new one that's coming out whenever that comes out. But I wasn't too sure about it. The character designs are pretty radical.
Yeah.
Which, you look at like Bebop and Rocksteady, like that's what the figures look like. That's crazy design.
I love that really Rocksteady design though. He's so. I like big chunky figures like that. That's just.
It's very cool.
Really fun style. Did you see the figures they put out at Christmas? There was
no. They had. I wanted to get those. They had the 4 that were from like the knockoff show based on them, and they had like weird names, and they were like kind of off model. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I loved it because there's always been knockoff toys as long as we've been growing up and everything. It's just like, and those were always crap. But now there's so many of those knockoff toys that like. They're super valuable, which is insane because collectors have already gone through and they've got the entire Ninja Turtle line. They've got the entire Turtle. Now they want all the stupid knockoffs. And those are even more astronomically priced. Yeah, because they're so rare or they're busted.
So when I was a kid, I grew up in Pennsylvania and we would go to the county fair every summer. And I don't know if you went to the county fairs by you when you were growing up and stuff, but they always had, for whatever reason, it was really popular, glass, like mirrors or little plaques with different characters on them. They were all bootleg, but it was like a Hulkamania plaque.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And like or the Ninja Turtles or, and then later, Bart Simpson or whatever. But I don't know. They must have got the glass real cheap from somewhere or been able to print those easy or something. But like, such a weird thing to win at the fair. Like, here you go, kid. Here's a pane of glass.
Here's a mirror with stuff on it. Yeah. I'm sure there was some salesman out there being like, yeah, we could totally print this crap on mirrors and sell it to these yards.
I mean, I guess they're stackable, right? Like if you're shipping them, it's probably better than stuffed animals that are like too big or something.
But. It was the guy from The Music Man. He was out there selling, instead of children's instruments, he was selling mirrors.
Yeah, but cool. It's your turn. What do you got next?
My turn. Crap, I think I went through. Darn near.
I have 2 more figures to show, so you need 2 more.
I need 2 more.
It's not 2 more.
2 more. No. So right now the toy industry, it seems like all the different industries are in a little bit of
slump.
Yeah. Prices are getting expensive on everything, but you get pairings that you wouldn't have thought back in the day. Like, Mattel has teamed with Hasbro, and they've done Transformers that turn into some of their classic Hot Wheels cars.
Oh,
so
this
is like the Bone Crusher car, which is very iconic. I should have transformed one of these before we got on, to show. And this one is
And the episode turns into a 2-hour episode.
exactly. This one turns into the car called Twin Mill. Now, I had a ton of Hot Wheels before, like when I was really little. That was before action figures and crap. So it was, hey, there we go. So
One of the things on the desk just happened to be here.
so the fact that they went and did finally after 40 some odd years, they're like, hey, we should team up and do Hot Wheels and Transformers. And it's like, that's exactly right. So,
And by the way, while we're name dropping these companies, this is not a sponsored episode, by the way. However, if you'd like to sponsor an episode, just hit us up, Mattel
We'll
or
happily
Hasbro
talk.
or Playmates or anybody.
you betcha. I would be a great representative of any toy
Yeah.
line.
All right, so I mentioned the Ninja Turtles, and I mentioned that I like the movies and stuff. So
did you have the movie figures?
I bought the life-size, well, not life-size, it's big. I don't know how big they are in real life. I've never seen them. But this is Leonardo from the movie. I've got all 4 of these as well.
Dude, and you went the big ones, not the 6-inch.
I have the 6-inch ones too.
Oh, man.
It's funny because I got to tell you a story about these. So, I've got all these figures in boxes. But I have a lot of figures that are not in boxes. They're downstairs on my display. I didn't bring them up because they're all dusty and I didn't want to mess it up. Anyway, my nephew was visiting. My nephew's like 7, right? And he's looking at all the figures that I have on the shelf. And then I had a bunch of these in boxes on the floor near the shelf. So they're not on display, but, eventually I'll open them. And he's like, Uncle Floyd, you have all these figures, but how come you didn't open these yet? And I was like, well, I bought these and I have them in the box. And maybe someday if I'm having a bad day, I'll open one up and, it'd be like brand new thing and make me happy. And then he looks at all the figures that are open and he goes, well, you've had a lot of bad days.
That's right, kid.
Like, yep. That's what happens, kid. Yeah. So anyway. All right. What's your next one? I got one more.
Well, this one's going to have a little bit of a story with it then, I guess, because...
you got to end on a big one.
End on a big one? Well, sort of. Okay. So you got a bunch of figures that are still in box. All my stuff is open. It's got to be open. That's just my rules. If you have a toy collection, you got to have rules.
You got to have it open.
Because those are going to limit you from buying way too much crap. You got to have your rules, and you got to have your rules that you can slightly bend, because there will always be an exception to a rule that pops up.
So my rule with these is I only ever buy the Turtles proper, and I try to buy all 4 from the series if I can. And if I get somewhere and they've got like 2 of them or 3 of them, I won't buy it unless they have all 4. Or I know I can get the 4th one somewhere. I'll while I'm standing there, I'll look at my phone and see if I can find the 4th one online somewhere, and I'll hit buy and then buy the 3 in person. But anyway,
that's cool.
Go ahead.
Now, see, I've got a slightly similar. I will pick up Raphael from the different lines if the art style is something that I think is really cool. Like from Mutant Mayhem, I've got Raphael from that, but I grabbed the one that came with the baby version of him, and they're glow in the dark. So I was like, okay, I gotta grab those. So figures are always open in my collection, except, let's see if I can angle this camera up here. I've got a series of Transformers figures there on the wall, and those are from the War for Cybertron video game released by High Moon Studio.
Oh, yeah. Down in San Diego.
Yeah.
Or Carlsbad, I guess, yeah.
So I did not have any of those figures in my collection. So the dude way up at the top, the Optimus set, we were doing a gift exchange this is when I was on the EverQuest game, and we were doing a gift exchange. Now, the people were only supposed to spend like $5 a piece it was like Secret Santa.
Yeah.
So the lead, what was he? It was, he was concept artist.
Wes Griffith?
No, this was Billy King was his name. But he worked on the War for Cybertron.
Very cool.
Thing. And they got to team with Hasbro, the guys at High Moon that were doing all the concept art of all the different Transformers. They got to team with Hasbro. So each of these figures are based off of those dudes' concept art from the game.
Wow.
So he had the whole set of them, and he had all the guys sign it. So each of those are autographed by the different concept artists that did those characters.
Very
so
cool.
he ended up gifting me all those because he said these fit in your collection more than they fit in mine. So
Wow.
those will stay in package just
Very
because
cool.
they're signed like that.
Very cool.
Now, granted, I've only met the one artist, but so but
Very cool.
super nice guy and super fantastic artist. So
Yeah, I guess Wes Griffith, because we worked with him at SOE, and then he went to High Moon, and I think he worked on more for Cybertron. He was a modeler though, not a concept artist. I don't think, or was he a concept artist?
That's true. I'm trying to think because he posts a lot of concept art.
He does.
and
He
stuff
paints
like
a
that.
lot. Yeah.
Oh, there's my cat. She's telling me it's time for her midnight snack. So she's been in here bugging me the whole time we've been filming.
Well, I have one more figure. So this is another big figure. This is Leonardo.
Oh, sweet.
And they come with different heads. So he's got a very stern look or like the more playful look. But this is how I was first introduced to Ninja Turtles, with the, big letters on the belt.
Yep.
And the bright color thing and like kind of goofy storylines and, that kind of thing. So, and this was released by NECA. Nickelodeon owns the rights to them. So, they team with NECA to make those figures. And I have all 4 of those as well. They're also in my closet up on a shelf. But
see, when that era of Turtles came out, I used to draw them all the time.
Yeah, same.
So I got to see if I can find it quickly while we chat. My nephew
and
just...
if you're listening to this episode, not watching the video,
I'm sorry.
You're missing out because we're showing a bunch of stuff on the screen. But yeah.
Oh, man, that's true. So sorry, guys, if you're not watching. So my nephew just recently had his 5th birthday party, and they wanted let's see if I can find it. But my mother asked if I would draw like a cake topper for it and for him. And let me see.
And you said no.
And I said no, flat out, no. But it was so cool to go back and try and redraw this stuff. It brought back a ton of memories. It's just like, wow, I haven't drawn the Ninja Turtles since I was a little kid.
They're fun to draw. Their head shape is really kind of fun to.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. And how do we share? Now, when I share this,
you just hit the share screen, and then you can pick what screen you want or a window.
Right. So, and this will show.
Choose wisely.
Yeah. So
there it is.
So yeah, and I stuck my nephew in there, and he thought it was super cool that he was on there. Now, these were drawn like some of the original, like artwork that was on promo stuff. Which is why Donatello has the weird 2 straps and stuff. Because in the cartoon he didn't have that. But I also added the glasses onto him from the modern stuff because I kind of like that design change for Donatello. It just makes sense for him to have the glasses.
And the chip in Raphael's shell was not from the original shell.
I like that because he's the rough and tumble guy. So
he's cool but brute.
That's right. So he really thought that was cool to have that, and we also found him. He didn't have Bebop from the Mutant Mayhem line, so we got that figure for him, and you should have heard him freak out when he opened that up.
Very cool.
Like screaming at the top of his lungs that he got Bebop. It's like, yes, got the good toy.
So how often do you dust your figures? You got them all on display there. I never dust mine. It's disgusting.
Well, they're on shelves, so you can fiddle with them and stuff. So that's usually when they get dusted. If I'm like, you know what? I think I want to mess with the animated toy line stuff right now, just because this was freaking awesome. The art style was so far different than any of the other Transformer cartoons. And somehow they were able to build them into toys that looked like the animated style and still transform. So, if I just get in a whim like, I want to fiddle with some of them, that's when I'll dust them. But everything is horribly dusty in here as well because I keep a ceiling fan going constantly, so it's always blowing dust everywhere.
Just blowing dust everywhere. Well,
yeah. So.
Cool. Well, I ran out of figures. That was my figures I wanted to show. You're not out of figures.
I guess I did run out
going. No.
We could go all night.
Day 7. Please stop. Close the window. Yeah.
Why can't I stop the video?
So, what was your favorite figure of the episode, or what was your favorite toy line? If you've got one, drop it in the comments below. That's what they call engagement.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if there's toy lines that we didn't talk about, because I've got a couple He-Man figures that I didn't bring out, but that's with the movie coming out.
I used to have a bunch of He-Man stuff. I got rid of all my stuff when I left San Diego, and I shouldn't have. I've been kicking myself ever since.
You mean you even got rid of like the big G.I. Joe base thing?
Yes, mobile command center. Yeah,
man, that sucks.
That was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah,
but I needed the space, so I let my kids keep their toys, and I ditched mine. So
that's all right. You didn't ditch all of them because I've got a couple of yours, which
do you have
show up on.
Do you have the reflector?
I do.
Handy.
I almost grabbed him for this show, but I don't. I need to pull out the accessories that go along with his. Because right now they're all in robot mode. So
that was a mail-in figure that I got.
Yes,
I had to send away for it. Yeah. So
and we'll have him out for the next episode because I want to get the. I'm pretty sure I've got.
And I think Cyclonus. I think you have Cyclonus.
Yes, I've got Cyclonus as well. I've got. I'm pretty sure I've got the order form from that era where you could.
That's cool.
Where you could order. So, but that's in the basement with all my instructions and all that crap. So It's in a giant filing cabinet.
Very cool. Well, that's the episode, I think.
Yeah. So now you have to come back next week to see what the crap we were talking about.
We went so long with Tom Toby that we decided to do a short one tonight and show a bunch of toys. So hopefully that was interesting to some. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, ring that bell for updates. We'll put the link to both of our Buy Me a Coffees at the end if anybody wants to chip in to fill in the gaps in the toy lines. But
I don't think I'm going to have any pity from anybody looking at my dice. But I'll tell you, folks, the Transformers have gotten too expensive. I think I've got to tap out because for what you get, it's a little too high of a price.
Dude, I bought a thing of instant coffee this morning and it was $15.
Well, if it's that much, that's a lot of coffee.
I drink a lot of coffee. But, yeah.
I drink a lot of Mountain Dew, my friend. Not a sponsor. Oh, gosh.
Cool.
We're totally going to be like the Michael Myers thing from Wayne's World, where it's like...
Cool. All right. Well, like I said, that's the episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, ring the bell for updates. Drop your favorite toys or toy lines in the comments below, and maybe we'll talk about them next time. We also have to line up some guest people to be on again, because that was a lot of fun. The last 2 episodes we did with guest star people. I know we've got a line of people that I've got a list here of people that have said they want to be on the show. So I'm going to go through it and actually make it happen. So cool. All right. Till next time, everybody.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is Cinco de Mayo. Oh, well, this is
it won't be by
Friday.
the time it airs.
So yeah.
No.
What day will that be? It'll be Ocho de Mayo.
Ocho de Mayo. That's the day after my birthday.
No, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, happy birthday! I didn't know that.
Well, thank you.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, amazing.
All right, see you, everybody.
See ya.
The Dingus and Dingus podcast.
Game over.